You may be sick and tired of hearing about AI. I know I am. Yet with the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro, Google may have just convinced me that it isn't all hype. Thanks to too many leaks, we knew that these Pixel phones wouldn't be a huge performance jump, but I can tell you that, despite their shortcomings, you should consider picking up a Pixel 8. I've been a part of the Android bandwagon since early Nexus 5 days, and other members of our team have used nothing but Android devices, especially the original Droids from Motorola, before they transitioned to Google Pixels after they moved on from the Nexus line. And Pixel phones have long been the black sheep of the flagship smartphones since they're not the most powerful, smoothest, or revolutionary. But with the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro, Google may have finally found the secret sauce to eclipse Samsung's Galaxy line: artificial intelligence. Before we get into the software, we have to talk about aesthetics. Google isn't reimagining the wheel with this year's models, opting for a more rounded corner approach to design. It's reminiscent of their Material U look in Android OS, which adopted more rounded corners than the previous Google UI designs. What isn't curved is the Actua and Super Actua OLED displays. The Pixel 6, 7, and their respective Pro models used a curved screen to make their phone thinner at the edges. Unlike Samsung though, Google didn't use the extra screen width as a function. I much prefer holding the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro since it uses a flat display and thicker edges. Those thicker edges help you grip the phone, which were notoriously slippery on the Pixel 7s. The models we reviewed came in Obsidian Matte Black, and on the Pixel 8, the matte color is applied to the chassis and the camera bar, while the Pixel 8 Pro inverses that style by applying the matte finish on the glass back while leaving the chassis and the camera bar glossy. While I like the matte finish on both, it was a missed opportunity not to use it more for the Pixel 8 Pro. Not only does it look nicer than the glossy back of the Pixel 8, but I can barely see my fingerprints and smudges on the back despite a full day of use. In comparison, it only took about an hour for the Pixel 8 back to get covered in prints. I also found the 8 Pro easier to hold onto than the Pixel 8 and much easier than the Pixel 7 Pro. Like the edges, the slippery nature of the finish on the back almost immediately had me put a case on the 7 Pro. There are no such issues with the 8 Pro. The Pixel 8 unfortunately still suffers from that slippery gloss back, though we have some accessories that could help you fix that later on. Regarding durability, I've yet to find a noticeable scratch on my Pixel 7 Pro, even after dropping it over dozens of times. It's not clumsiness, it's just that my chair at my station is like tilted backwards and I have slippery pockets and it falls out, okay? It's not coming out of my fingers. I feel that durability will only continue to be the case with the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro. Both use scratch-resistant Gorilla Corning Victus glass and have an IP68 dust and water resistance rating. They also use a fingerprint-resistant coating, though like I said before, you can clearly see prints pop up on the back of the Pixel 8. Underneath the matte or glossy exterior is a new Google Tensor G3 chip that improves upon the Pixel 7 Pro's Tensor G2 chip. All you need to know is that the new G3 chip is better than the G2 because it's a number higher, but it's not as nearly powerful as the iPhone 15's A17 or the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipsets. Word on the street is that you shouldn't expect a significant jump in performance from Google Silicon until the Tensor G5 chip arrives in 2025 when they switch from Samsung to TSMC, meaning that the first fully customized Google chip won't arrive until the Pixel 10 models arrive. That isn't to say that the processor is bad, but you won't see performance leaps like Apple Silicon on a Pixel device for at least another 2 years. Allegedly. Although the Pixel 8 didn't see much change on the camera end from the Pixel 7, the 8 Pro has a new 48 megapixel camera that vastly improves on the 7 Pro's 12 megapixel lens. On the front of the device is a 10.5 megapixel selfie camera, slightly smaller than the Pixel 7 Pro's, but you get a wider angle lens that can use autofocus. Google has remained a leader in the smartphone camera space ever since it made the splash with its Nexus line, so it should be no surprise that the new Pixels build on that legacy. In a bit, you'll see why Pixel 8 and 8 Pro still compete with the likes of Samsung and Apple. And as I said before, we essentially knew what Google was putting into the new Pixels, but there was less of an idea of what was in store for the software side. Rather than using AI as a random gimmick, Google decided to bake the AI experience into as many features as possible and will only add more in the coming months and years as their tech improves. While you can use some of the new features on Pixel 7 with Android 14, like Smart Reply, Spam Blocker, and Read Aloud, the Tensor G3 is the only chip enabling all of the new additions on the new Pixels. The biggest and best AI features I found were in the camera app. I took the time to snap as many photos as possible to test the new cameras and to try out the new photo editing tools. Like on the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro, you get a great camera that can take excellent shots up close with macro view or even far away with super res zoom. But that new hardware does make a difference, as the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro's new 48 megapixel ultra-wide cameras add so much more detail over the previous Pixel generations. The telephoto camera also gets optical and electronic stabilization on the 8 Pro. Pro, but you'll have to keep a steadier hand on the base model. The 8 Pro also accesses a multi-zone autofocus sensor on the wide camera over the single zone on the Pixel 8. Rounding out the new camera features on the Pro models are the new Pro controls. These controls let you adjust the shutter speed, ISO, aperture, and more all by default. Additionally, you can manually adjust the camera's focus, and the app will highlight what is or isn't in focus for the shot. Shooting video isn't as robust as taking photos, but you can still adjust things like exposure and white balance. However, the real magic starts once you start editing. Of the new AI tools, the first I wanted to try was Best Take. As you can see, I can swap the face of a person or persons in a photo with another face with the tap of a button. How this works is that the system will recognize a person's face and try to match it to other similar photos. Combining this with the Top Shot function, which takes multiple photos quickly, you can decide on the best face to use almost always. Even better is the fact that any similar photo can be used to source a face from, even photos you've had stored in the cloud for years. Those old photos can also be edited using newer photos to turn a frown upside down. There are limitations to this, however, as I noticed Best Take didn't do so well when swapping someone who moved their shoulders or hair. It tries its best to match the position in the photo with the face it's swapping in, but some artifacts will make their way into the shots if you aren't careful. I'd like to see tools to fix these issues after selecting a new face in a future update though. Another excellent editing tool is the Magic Eraser. This one lets you select objects or people in a photo and either remove or camouflage them. Magic Eraser uses generative AI to fill in removed objects to varying degrees of success. Using the tool to replace numerous objects results in the blurry, smeared jank you're used to from seeing poorly rendered AI images. But if you focus on one large item or smaller things with a clear area to fill from, the results can be good to even great. This tool is likely to see the most use, so I expect Google will provide more updates and improvements over the coming years. Old photos also benefit from these new tools. I could fix several blurry photos using Unblur, add fake light for portraits with portrait light, and even turn a bright sunny day into a sunset with a button tap. It's impressive how much can be changed, rearranged, or even straight up removed with these tools. However, the most impressive editing tool by far is the Magic Editor. This tool is a game changer for anyone looking to fix a photo but doesn't have the Photoshop skills to do so. Every photo taking gives you suggestions to enhance it, but with the Magic Editor, it finds a tool or effect that best fits the occasion. For example, this photo of Reese has several different elements I may not want. It suggests that I should remove people from the background, which, funny enough, removes Linus's face from the pillow on the couch. It also gives you several different versions of the changed photo, like the result of a Dolly prompt. Another part of Magic Editor is the ability to Photoshop images. In this photo, we can tap on one of the cats and move him from one spot on the mat to another. And while moving an object in the photo is impressive enough, what's more exciting is that the area that we move the cat from refills with generative AI. It's a bit wonky at times, just like the Magic Eraser though. It's not very good when it comes to selecting larger or more complex objects, but I would be remiss not to say that the results right now aren't impressive. Video editing also got some improvements in the Pixel 8 Pro. While some features like night vision video and video boost are yet to roll out, I was able to play around with the new Audio Eraser tool. Using this tool, you can parse different audio sources and tune or mute them to get more quality audio. How this tool works is that it can detect the different types of audio recorded in the video and present it to you in the edit. It'll even label the sources based on what it thinks it hears. For example, this video we recorded outside picks up people talking, leaves rustling, birds chirping, and some work on a house down the street. After it puts the birds and leaves into a category titled Nature, it labels the talking as voices and the sounds from down the street are noise. All of the sounds can have their levels adjusted from a scale of 1 to 100, and it can remix and balance the audio for you. Several more AI features are set to arrive in the coming months for the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro. One will give you prompts for Google Assistant to say, and another will give you more detailed smart replies and messaging. The biggest one will add Bard, Google's AI chatbot, to Google Assistant. The company showed some of what Assistant with Bard can do during its Made by Google event, and it aims to change how you use your Pixel devices by making the Smart Assistant finally smart. The most remarkable thing about all of these features is that the AI processing is all done locally on the phone. While it means that your cloud-stored photos and videos must be downloaded onto the device to edit it, I doubt it'll be a problem for most people. And while we enjoyed most of the new AI tools, it was not without glitches and hiccups. We noticed that some of the tools would sometimes take longer than expected before you could start editing, or just didn't load up after selecting one of them. This happened several times when testing, and especially after editing multiple photos after a while. Closing and force stopping the app didn't fix this problem, and I had to restart the device to get it back up and working again. Using the AI editing also made the phone heat up a bit, which proves that calculations are being done from the Tensor G3 chip. It's nothing to the point of being too hot to touch, but it was noticeable. I should also mention that there's a bit of delay before you can use these new tools when first booting either of the two Pixels up. Although it's due to the phone having to download, install, and update everything, it is something new users should be aware of. If you plan on picking up the Pixel 8 or 8 Pro, you'll likely want to find some accessories that go with it. Well, you don't have to do the searching since we found some that may just pique your interest. First off, is protection. There are a large number of cases available for the Pixel 8, likely thanks to all those leaks. However, there are a few that are officially partnered with Google for the cases, such as the mouse line of cases. These come with their AeroShock tech that helps absorb shocks from drops and has raised edges around the chassis and camera bar. You can pick from various backplate styles, and all are compatible with MagSafe accessories thanks to the magnetic ring inside. The mouse cases start around the $60 mark, but if that's a bit steep, check out these cases from Peak Design. They provide everyday cases for the 8 and 8 Pro, reminiscent of the old fabric cases that Google made for earlier Pixel phones. Like the mouse cases, these are all MagSafe compatible, but Peak Design also has its ecosystem of magnetic accessories called SlimLink. These differ from MagSafe because of the mechanical locking mechanism some SlimLink mounts have. This lock mechanism is great for vlogging and other activities that require a secure connection. You can get these cases starting at $50 in 5 different colors, but if you need something cheaper, you can't go wrong with a Spigen case. Spigen. Like pigeon, I've never known how to pronounce it. It's another official case for the 8 and 8 Pro, and it's a nice pick for a case under $50 with discounts right now on Amazon. You can pick up 4 different styles ranging from rugged to slim, and each comes in a variety of different colors. These cases also have different features, like a built-in card holder or kickstand. And while it doesn't come with a MagSafe compatible ring, you can add one to a compatible case with a metal ring backplate that Spigen sells separately. But if you're looking for something more fashionable than functional, you can't go wrong with Dbrand. I've used Dbrand on a ton of different stuff. I have their dark plates, etc. We're not sponsored by them, but they have tons of skins for you to put on your new Pixel. The skins offer scratch protection for the back and the camera bar of the phone, while also providing some style. But if you want more protection, Dbrand makes a rugged grip case and clear MagSafe compatible Ghost case. You can get all these skins on the rugged case, but only the teardown skin is compatible with the clear Ghost case. Skins range from $20 to somewhere close to $70 depending on what skin case or extras you want to throw in with it. There are many things to like about the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro, especially if you're already in the Pixel family or an Android user. For $700, you can get a great phone in the Pixel 8, and for $1,000, you can get a new premium device cheaper than both Apple and Samsung's flagships, while still offering features rivaling them. It's not a significant jump from a hardware or performance standpoint, but that has never been the strong point of these phones. Instead, you're getting a suite of new AI tools and features that you could only get on the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro, with more still to come, allegedly. If you want to upgrade to a new phone with an excellent set of cameras that can do stuff currently no other phone can, and is likely to be cheaper than most of its competitions, it's hard to see how you can go wrong with the Pixel 8 or 8 Pro.